National Chairman of the South-South Apex socio-political body, Niger Delta Forum, Ambassador Godknows Igali, has commended President Bola Tinubu-led federal government for not withholding statutory allocation due to Rivers State. Igali, who expressed delight that President Tinubu took such statesmanly decision, said that it is a relief not only to the people of Rivers State but all of Nigeria as a country, just as he reiterated his call on all political actors and leaders in Rivers State, as well as youth and women groups, to sheath their sword and follow the step taken by the federal government in de-escalating tension, while the reconciliation efforts by the elders of the region is ongoing. According to PANDEF national chairman, the decision will ensure that the innocent citizens of Rivers State will not suffer vicariously from the family feud between some of the political leaders of the state. In a statement yesterday by his spokesperson, Chief Obwemi Ominimini, Ambassador Igali further expressed hope that this decision will also aid the efforts by Obong Victor Atta-led high-level Peace and Reconciliation Committee recently constituted by PANDEF. The statement read, "The South-South Apex socio-political body PANDEF has commended the President Bola Tinubu-led federal government for not withholding statutory allocation due to Rivers State." In a media chat with newsmen at Uyo Airport, the new National Rivers chairman of the body, Ambassador Godknows Igali, expressed delight that Mr. President took such a statesmanly decision, which is a relief not only to the people of Rivers State, but all of Nigeria. Let me start with you, Prince Abulabu. What is your take on this statement and the move by federal government?
Well, definitely is a welcome decision, because when you're taking decision, you must consider the ordinary citizens. You must also consider the economy of the state. River State is situated at the heart of Nigerian economy, and so I think that the decision not to withhold the allocation for River State is a good one. But my issue with the PANDEF and the Reconciliatory Committee is, before you get to a point where you are constituting a committee to go into a particular crisis, you ought to have discussed with parties, because it is when parties are ready, that your mediation could be honored. Because if you don't consult widely and there is a committee, and some parties in the crisis are not aware that there is a committee that is mediating already, or there is a committee that is coming to mediate, if the committee is not known to parties, then it looks like you are dressing up a ceremonial.
If your PANDEF is not known to the parties.
So what I'm saying is this: that if a committee to resolve the crisis is constituted already, that what is expected is for them to have gone in, discussed with the parties, had this discussion with the parties. At this point, we should have had that after meeting the executive governor of Rivers State and had discussions with him, maybe prevailing on him to withdraw his arsenals. They do the same to the FCT minister, and at that point, we know that it is a process. It's not something that could be achieved a moment. It's a process. After that, they can think of bringing parties. If there are some hands behind the crisis, they should be able to identify those hands and also discuss with them, bring every parties to table. It is only when you do that you are suing for peace. Because definitely, if Mr. President have taken this bold step, is it sustainable? Because there is a pronouncement by the court. There is a pronouncement by the court. What if a party in the matter goes to enforce that judgment, go to insist on what the court has pronounced? The President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria is not above the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. He is bound to obey. And so this is a window of opportunity for the committee that have decided to wade into this crisis to exhibit some level of commitment and seriousness, right, so that before it will get beyond where the president won't be able to take this decision again, and then we would have been having some headway to peace among the both parties, because the crisis is not just affecting them. It's not affecting them in any way. It's the Rivers people. It's the Rivers people that is either benefiting from the crisis or suffering from the crisis. You can imagine a state that is supposed to be creating jobs, a state that has what it takes to do a lot of things to boost the life of citizens in his own state. But every day, this excuse of there is crisis, they're going to withhold this, they're going to do that, it's all over the place. And apart from the projects that is near completion, and the Transcarbide project that we also, nothing new has actually come into the state. Nothing different. The government is going 2 years, and mind you,
but the governor has said that he's working.
No, he said he's working.
However, that the crisis is not letting people see the things he's doing.
The thing is that anything you do that is infrastructure, they are physical. Infrastructure development, they are physical. Human capital development is also physical. If the governor is deliberately creating job through maybe foreign investors coming into the place and all that, it will be seen. Rivers people will be called upon to submit applications to vie for positions. If there are new road constructions, it will be seen. But you know, at the long run, there is no excuse that because I had crisis, that's why I was unable to do this. That is why, as the Mr. President took that decision, because it was been that when the allocation is no longer coming, that's why I couldn't perform. But for the period that the allocation has come, you are going to account for those periods. And for the FCT minister, I don't think it is right and it's proper that at this point it is Rivers' interest that should have been is before him. Whatever crisis that might be will have been seen to be personal, and then what will benefit the entire Rivers people should have been his focus, because as FCT minister is in the cabinet, we also expect that we should have gotten some federal projects around the state. He should be able to attract these things to the state to complement what the governor is doing, because the governor has a time. It is 4 years, and if he's re-elected, it's 8 years. But Rivers State will continue to exist even after them. And so the Rivers' interest should have been their focus.
All right, very well. Chris, what do you make of this story?
Well, first, I don't want to go into looking at the composition of PANDEF.
All right.
But I know that the leader of PANDEF, which is Sir Edwin Clark, has taken position before now on the crisis in the River State. He has shown support to the governor of the state, Simini Fubara, meaning that the leader of PANDEF is with Sim Fubara. But
what do you mean that the leader of PANDEF is Sim Fubara?
Yes, I just said it. Edwin Clark is with Sim Fubara.
Okay. So what makes Sim Fubara the leader of PANDEF?
No, sorry. I said the leader of PANDEF is with Sim Fubara.
All right.
So that, for me, I'm looking at it like PANDEF has already taken a position. Before now, what Edwin Clark did was to call on the president to intervene in the crisis in Rivers State, which the president did. I can't remember if Edwin Clark was in the reconciliation meeting held in Asoro, but I know that immediately after that, he criticized the position of the outcome of that peace panel. And coming to set up a committee to reconcile the political crisis in Rivers State after you have taken a stand is a double standard. So I don't want to go into that. I don't know about the chairman of the committee, but when you look at the leadership, it tells that this committee already may not proffer solution to the crisis in Rivers State. And again, the PANDEF commended the president for not withholding allocation of Rivers State. If you ask me, it's not just about the president, like my brother said. The president is not above the constitution. Some of these things are before the court to decide. So the statement I read, from Office of the Accountant General.
Yes, they were contradicting.
Yes, the first statement was issued by the same person who said yes that they are withholding the allocation, and later denied that Rivers people will receive the allocation. The first is this issue is before the court, like I said. So it is for the court to decide whether it is right to hold the. There is a court judgment already by Justice Abdul Malik.
Yes, Joyce Abdul Malik.
Is that
Joyce Abdul Malik?
Okay, directing the CBN and order to not to release allocation to that judgment has been appealed. We are waiting the outcome of that appeal. If the appeal court said hold, I don't think the president will have any. I'm sure why they want to release is because there is a stay of execution of that judgment. If the appeal court said no,
what if there is a stay of execution of the judgment of Justice Abdul Malik,
I'm sure there is a stay because
if there is a stay of execution, then the federal government is well within its rights to release.
Yes, that's why they have not. So PANDEF coming to commend them for me is neither here nor there. So it's because there is no substituting order to say hold the allocation. So we wait for the outcome of the appeal. The special panel is looking at all the matters in relation to Rivers State crisis. So when that is decided, we will now know whether the government will release allocation or not. First, I know that not releasing allocation to Rivers State has a lot of consequences. As a Rivers man, I agree. But beyond that, the governor should also ensure that the right thing is done. I've said in this program before that where the governor presented the budget to a 3-man assembly, my own constituency was not part of that 3-man. Meaning that
what's your constituency again?
In Emoha.
Yes,
Emoha local government.
Emoha local government was not represented.
Was not represented, yes, in that budget. So me, I also feel bad that what if the budget is structured in such a way that my local government is marginalized? So who will raise the voice and say, no, we need project? Of course, there are a lot of attention needed in my local government, and that was not done. You presented a budget that 3-man assembly look at and approve for you. That is not democracy. We have said that. Although there are also issues relating to that in court. So a whole lot of these things are dependent on the judiciary to decide. So for PANDEF, I think
PANDEF has said that they have set up a committee. And that committee was set up sometime around, I think it should be 27th or 28th of last month. It was set up around November. Up to now, we've not heard anything that the committee has made to have met any of the actors in this political crisis. We have not heard anything from them. Of course, there is nothing God cannot do. What seemed impossible can be possible. We do not want to, no reasonable Rivers man will want this state to continue to be in crisis. Because like somebody told me, there are people who are benefiting from this crisis. Some are not Rivers people. Some of the big lawyers that the both parties are using, they are not Rivers people, they are cashing out. I don't want to go into saying somebody is trying to compromise the judge too. But these judges are not Rivers people. So Rivers money are being spent on non-Rivers people in the political crisis. Very soon now you'll see the police. They will start changing commissioner, lobbying and who to take charge, who to take instruction from. We have seen this happen in this state. I don't pray that we get to that point where Rivers State will be thrown into total crisis. So, but for PANDEF should be a non-political. But already you said that they have already taken.
They've taken a position. So coming to constitute a committee.
Of Edwin Clark, who is the leader, they've taken a position, and that to a large extent brings into question
that nothing reasonable will come out. Yes, they will be biased. The committee will definitely just watch and see the outcome of that reconciliation. It will definitely be.
Reconciliation holds when both parties are willing to meet.
Yeah.
But in this instance, there are concerns that probably the parties are not even interested interested in peace. Prince, I was coming to that.
Yeah.
There are concerns that both parties are unwilling at this point from the body language from both camps. And now, like Chris Oka has raised a very salient point when he talked about the statements of Edwin Clark so far in course of this reverse crisis. Do you even see the camp of the 27 lawmakers coming to the table with PANDEF and then the camp of the governor sitting on a table to make peace? Do you even see the possibility of political solution at this point in time?
Well, there is nothing that is impossible. The fact, like my brother have just said, the fact is that PANDEF is the issue here. Because I say they are the issue because, one, you don't just come on the pages of newspaper to say you have constituted a committee to wade into a particular crisis. And the actors as the committee is strange to them. No discussion, no even attempt that they made attempt to meet party A or they made attempt to meet party B and had discussions. So when you were constituted last month until this time, if not that Mr. President came up to take this decision. In fact, it's not for me, it's not Mr. President taking the decision. It's because the matter is still pending before the appeal court. And so if the matter is pending before the appeal court, it means that we have to wait. Because Mr. President won't be able to tell Nigerians that a competent court have decided based on the facts that are available to them, say this allocation should not be released to this state. And then Mr. President will say, because I'm Mr. President, and you're holding on to our constitution, Mr. President won't be able to do that. And so I expect that if there is a committee, all of us are suing for peace. All of us are suing for peace. But if there is a committee, let it not be a committee that will come out to commend Mr. President when he has taken one decision without looking at the responsibility that they've given to themselves. Because that responsibility is ascribed to them by their organization.
All right.
And so if that decision that was given, they go into it, if they're not going into it, and maybe by the end of the tussle, and the court says otherwise, it means that nobody will say that it is Mr. President that is holding the allocation. Because there is no how that a 3-man will appropriate fund that is meant for the entire state. We don't have to be emotional about this. We don't need to be emotional about this. It's not about who is at what end. It's about doing the right thing.
All right.
Because when the issue of budgeting also includes debating. So who is debating this budget? Who are the person? What are the items in this budget? What is the one that is affecting A? What is the one that is affecting B? What is the one that should be slashed? What is the one that should be removed? Nobody is discussing any budget. And then funds are being appropriated. So by right, without being emotional about it, it is very, very wrong. It is very, very wrong for a legislative arm of government that of 32 members, then 3 members will sit down to appropriate it. Who is moving the motions? Who is moving the motion? So how do you even commit this budget to committees? But it is expected that
the budget that time was actually presented to 4-member House.
It's not different. It's 3 and 4. That's not different. So how do they? Okay, look at now like a budget that spread its leverage across like 13, 14 ministries. That has something to do with that. In every of those ministries, there's supposed to be a standing committee an ad hoc committee in the House that is expected to interface
the budget. They'll defend their budgets.
They'll interface with that ministry. If it's Ministry for Works, for example, and they say the road from Iba to so end is supposed to be upgraded to, and the commissioner for that ministry will be able to come back to say, yes, this is why it is this is why it is this. So right. When that is not done, and then money is being appropriated, I think the money that, if it is withheld, it is not going to be taken to anywhere. It is still reverse money. But let's do our things properly.